morning everybody. Can you hear me okay? I'm not usually used to using a microphone and my voice is quite loud anyway, so if I'm either too quiet or too loud, just let me know. So thank you for the introduction. I'm here from Jess Jamira and I'm Lucy Majinski and I'm a Year 5 teacher. I'm not actually a maths expert at all, but I'm just here to show you a few things that I've been doing around the classroom that I found have really worked, and I've implemented a few things at Jess as well. Especially those kind of key number skills that our children really need consolidating as they progress through the school. And with the new national curriculum, which is very, very heavily number based, it ties in quite well. So the aims of today. Firstly, to introduce the importance of practical activities within the maths curriculum. Okay, so we want to provide our children with lifelong learning, and that's done through practical maths, embedding it into their knowledge. To share examples of hands-on interactive activities across the primary phase. And finally, to model effective and engaging mental maths games, which will enhance and embed the key aspects of number. So hopefully you might be able to get involved in some of those later, because obviously the best way to learn is kind of getting involved, as we all know. Right, I'll begin. So I'm here to talk about why we are pushing motivational maths. Now, in short, we have targets to meet, targets set according to the UAE national agenda. By 2021, the UAE will be amongst the 20 highest performing countries in PISA and the 15th highest performing countries in TIMSS. So therefore, all private schools have been set targets for their mathematics assessments. So in order to achieve these targets, mathematical learning must be practical, motivational and embedded. So here's a quick snapshot of things that we do at Jess. Now, I've put handouts on your table, which they haven't got all the slides, but they've just got key slides, so you can make notes of the sides if needs be. So, how do we make maths motivational? Okay, making links between learning, trying to find cross-curricular links wherever possible. Some people try to go a bit overboard and links can become tenuous, but for example, we're just doing the topic of Dubai at the moment. So I converted my classroom into like a big shopping mall, and every table was a different attraction of Dubai, and the children had to plan their ideal day out in Dubai. They had set budgets, and then of course you could challenge the children. Maybe you could use your entertainer voucher and make it real life learning, so of course it's 50% off everything. Maybe you're taking a school trip and there's 10 children, so they can times all their numbers by 10. Maybe because it was public holiday, prices were doubled, so they have to times all their prices by 2. So by just setting up one little activity linked to our topic of Dubai, they're learning all about Dubai culture, attractions around Dubai, but as well as applying their mathematical skills. And we all love to use the entertainer, 50% off, so it's getting them ready for real life. So that goes on to securing and applying their key skills. We've just started using the app Adobe Voice. It's a free app, but it's fantastic for children to kind of apply their knowledge. So often if they finish a task early and they've done all the extension activities, they can make a little teaching program using Adobe Voice. It's so simple, and like I said, it's free, and they can record snapshots of the learning process and show it to their peers. So it's quite good for peer assessment and independent learning. Taking learning outside. A lot of us are confined to the classroom, but we live in Dubai, we have fantastic weather, there should be no restraints. I often take my children outside, whether it's simple things like, we're doing perimeter, so we'll get the trundle wheels and, measure the playground, whether we are doing like compass points and they're running around to find different things, treasure hunts, but obviously not with treasure, with numbers and things like that. So trying to not be confined to the classroom, but using the spaces around you. Making learning practical and hands-on. So if you're learning about fractions, why not get a box of Lego out and make a a Lego house, you know, what fraction are red bricks, what fraction are yellow bricks, and things like that. Making potions for measure and ratios, things like that, when we're doing George's Marvellous Medicine, you tie it all in. And I think as a result, your maths does become engaging and fun. So, what is motivational maths? I won't read through this entire slide, it's a little bit wordy, but I'll just summarise. So the first one, it says practical maths is about learning, practicing and consolidating key mathematical skills through a range of resources and teaching techniques. So in Jess, we're very much of the mindset that a teacher is just there merely as a guide, and the children should become independent learners and critical thinkers. We set up the learning environments and then they go and explore. They have target cards across year 5, and I know they do it in year 4 as well. We have bronze, silver, gold. So if they're not feeling so secure in a task, they'll start at bronze and work their way up. And that just lets them take ownership of their learning. And of course, being very resourceful, having your number lines, having your number cards, calculation state. We have kind of calculation checkpoints in our table where there's 100 squares, calculators, things like that, so they can check that they are on task. And again, like I said with the videos, the children now leave each other help videos, so they can just go over there with the school iPad, scan the code, and the help video comes to life, so they learn off each other and celebrate their learning. I've spoken about, you know, going outside into different areas, providing children with real life learning. Another example, I've just finished a topic, we call it The Apprentice, where the children have to market and do branding for their own biscuit type. Of course, that's perfect for literacy because they can write their instructions and things, but for maths it's great too because they have to have their set budget, the quantities, and they really enjoy it because it's real life for them and it's hands-on. Creating opportunities for children to work independently as partners in groups to develop their speaking and listening skills, negotiating, collaborating together. Supplying opportunities for risk-taking within a positive ethos. I think that's really important because children are often afraid to make mistakes, but we all know we learn from our mistakes. It's crucial for them to experiment themselves rather than us teaching them how it's done. You give them the tools, they experiment, and then they learn from their mistakes. And finally, using mobile technology to extend their learning. Like I said, they're into creating these little videos. But another thing that we've just started using, which I find really, really useful, it's a website, so you can use it on iPads or you can use it on laptops, and it's called Kahoot, K-A-H-O-O-T, and it's fantastic for instant AFL, assessment for learning. So there's lots of ready-made PowerPoints, or there's some that you can just make it up really quickly, step by step. So for example, I was doing percentages and fractions last week. So I just 10 quick questions about incorporating mixed number fractions, improper fractions, and all the questions tailored to the learning that we've been doing. And the children type in the code that comes up on my screen, they type it in on their iPads or their laptops, and then their names start flashing up on the screen. So it's kind of a bit like an interactive Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. But as the question pops up, so it might say, which fraction is the equivalent to a half? And then they have all the answers on their laptops, they press it, and it flashes up straight away. So I can go through my questions, and then I just press print, and straight away I have my instant assessment for learning. I can see the children who were completely all over the show, and they're going to be my support group. I can see the children that got to 10 out of 10, and they need challenging. So it's really, really useful. I mean, I'm quite lucky because I team teach maths, so I can be looking at the data and the other teacher can be doing something. However, we're not all as fortunate to have that situation, but it can inform your next day's learning. So, going to show you now some examples of motivational and practical maths that are going on around Jess. So I had a little wander around classrooms and got a little bit snap happy. This is the foundation stage So you can see here, this young boy, he's got his big number mat on the floor, and he's literally matching the numbers because he's learning about number formation. There's dice there also, so maybe with a teaching assistant or other children, he can roll the dice, count on 1 more, 5 more. Here, gingerbread, again, their book was The Gingerbread Man, so cross-curricular learning. They are matching the gingerbread men to the numbers. They're grouping them in odd numbers and even numbers. The 2 girls there, again, continuous provision that's left out in the foundation stage. Very practical. They're finding objects around the classroom to find equal measures. So again, the things you can do are unlimited. The little boy on the iPad, again, he's in foundation stage 1, but he's doing some kind of like connecting and symmetry game there, but on the iPad it's multi-sensory. The little boy here, he's got his little viewfinder, so he's going on a hunt to find shapes. He's pointing to a circle down here that he's found. It just makes it a bit more exciting. He thinks he's a little detective, and learning just kind of becomes a bit more fun. This is outside one of our foundation classrooms, and of course they've just got a big washing line with just simple number cards, but the things you can do with just one set of number cards is unlimited, really. I've put some digit cards on your desks. I use these quite frequently. All it is print off your numbers 1 to 20, and you can do so much with them, whether it's just putting them in order, counting backwards with them, telling your partner what 1 more is, 1 less. You could turn them upside down, and as you pick one, is it odd, is it even, can you times it by 10, can you divide it by 10, what number facts can you make for that number? Maybe if they're playing it in partners, they can work out number bonds to 20. So you can just do so much with just one simple pack of cards. And again, if the children know their challenges, all you need is this set, a challenge card, and they can work progressively down, in terms of giving themselves appropriate challenge. Let's have a look what's next. In Key Stage 1, again, you can see they're starting to do some calculations here, some writing their own number sentences, always supported with counters for the visual and kinesthetic learners. Here, this little girl, she's got her crocodile snappers for greater than and less than. Another thing that I really liked doing when I was in the lower school, just kind of using blocks of Lego again, a block of 10 versus a block of 2, using your greater than and less than, just making it very practical for the children. This group of boys here, they are putting numbers in size order. Again, there's no teacher there. It's all child-led learning. They know where the resources are, they go and seek the answers out. They've got access to number lines, 100 squares, so they have access to a wide range of resources, so they become independent learners. Here, this is a dice game, again, very hands-on when children are starting to learn about number sentences. Someone rolls 2 dice, so a 5 and a 4, 5 counters in there, 4 counters in there, and they just add up, but just very practically, so they can kind of visualise what the number actually is worth. A counting hoop. Now, this is one of my favourite things for encouraging mental maths in the classroom. It's simply just a hoop that I took from the PE store, but it's really, really good for children from Key Stage 1 right up to Key Stage 2, and you can do all sorts with it. For example, I put cross-boundary counting backwards and forwards. So we all know children really struggle going through those tens numbers. So I don't do any teaching, I just say follow me. So I might start to be like 65, 75, 85, 95, and then slow down so they can visualise 105, and then we speed up again, 115, 125, 135, and then I was putting away like potatoes, and if I shout potatoes, we go backwards, so you can do backwards counting as well with it. Great for times tables, so they can visualise the continuity of the number system. So I would just start, I'd say 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, and I don't even have to give any indication, the children just start joining in. And we do this every day, and with the repetition and being able to see the continuity of the number system, the children really enjoy it, and they like to do it on their own as well. And again, you can convert it to a human number game. They can stand in a circle and just pass the ball around, you know, counting, following the number sequence. Fractions and decimals are actually very useful for. So I don't teach my children decimals. I might just suddenly one day go 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. They carry on. I might stop there and I'll say 0.5, and then I never do isolated teaching. Can I link that to anything else? What is 0.5 the same as? Hopefully they'll say a half. Okay, so who can tell me a half in percentage? 50%. Who can tell me a half as a fraction? Another fraction, they can do 1 over 2, they can do 50 over 100. And then seeing as we're talking about halves, maybe I might link it to time. Well, how many seconds in half a minute? How many grams in half a kilogram? So you can just keep going like that. It's a really good tool, and for visual learners especially, it's really useful. So lower key stage 2, here's a few little pictures of what's going on down there. These are fantastic, the Numicon links. So they're doing 25 times 7, so you can see that the groupings there, and they've got the number line, and it's very practical maths. It doesn't have to be done in their books. There's nothing to take a photo and just stick it in. The children are learning here in pairs. You know, here they're doing divisions using the Numicon, which is really useful. Decimals. Okay, decimals are not really the most exciting aspect of number to learn, but here they've got a collection of decimal cards, some with 1 decimal place, some to 2 decimal places. Again, I tend to just give those cards out to the children as a starter and see if they can figure it out. It's a bit boring me standing there trying to explain to them about 1 decimal place, 2 decimal places, but by talking to their peers, they can figure it out for themselves, and they see the pattern. So yeah, there's just some practical activities. This one here, I love. I actually left it at school this morning, so I made this, quickly went to Gian's and bought some paper cups. It's literally 2 dirhams for a pack of 25, and the kids absolutely love them for place value. So you can start off with maybe, so you just get the cups with the rim so you can write the numbers on, and I've got my units around the rim of that cup, and then I've got my tens numbers. It's literally digits 0 to 9, and I might say, right children, can you make me the number 5,432? So that, again, they can make it, they get the numbers, twist them round, they can make the number. I forgot the number I said to you, but say if the number was 5,843, I'd say, right, what is the value of the 5? And then if you pull it out, you can see the 5 is a 5,000, the 8 is an 800, the 4 is a 40, and the 3 is just a unit. So it's just really good, again, a really nice practical activity. The children love them, they go and make them at home, and of course you can get progressively harder. This is for 4-digit numbers, but you could even insert a decimal point and go into tenths as well. Okay, so you can kind of extend it as much as you wish. You could even just do random numbers, just any maybe 2-digit numbers around there, put in some of your operations, times, divide, add, subtract, and the children could just generate their own sums as well. Just so paper cups you can do a lot with. Simple resources. This is my other favourite item, which is just a counting stick. Again, very similar to the counting hoop, and it's just good to represent numbers on the number line. So I might just start counting in number sequences. Often, and it's just to check they're watching as well. So like, if this is 0 and this is 100, what is this? And then like hopefully say 50. And of course then they think they're really clever if you go, if this is 0 and this is 1,000. What is this? Well, if they know it's 50, they know that it's 500. Again, so you can 0, 1, 0.5. So what is that? 0.2. Again, link it from 0, 100. If that's 50, that must be 25. If that's 0 and that's 1,000 and that's 500, 250. And it just helps them visualise, getting the idea of linking your fractions, your decimals, your percentages, all of those things. Again, finding halfway points. So might say, well, if that's 12 and that's 13, what's that? So again, just to get that halfway point. We can use it, I've obviously split mine up into tenths. So I put my finger there and ask the child, can they tell me what that is, either as a fraction or as a decimal? Well, it's 2 out of 10. Extend for those who are more able. If that's 2 out of 10, it's the same as 2 tenths, which is the same as 0.2, which is the same as 20%. And again, just a stick with some tape on, and you can do lots of different things with it. Yeah, and again, with the sequences, like I said there. Upper key stage 2, again, still practical going up into key stage 2. These PE hoops are going missing clearly because they're being used here. Sorting 3D shapes, the children make their own criteria. Here it's just matching up different calculations. Post-it notes, can they find multiples of, I think it looks like multiples of 6 there, and just using a Venn diagram, again, use any aspect of number. Still up at key stage 2, these are year 6 children here, measuring the perimeter of the playground. I love this activity. This is, they were doing measurements and proportion and converting centimetres and metres, and they designed their ideal house using length in terms of metre, but then they had to convert it and they made it out of gingerbread. And you can see there, they've got their rulers and they're measuring accurately. And again, they love it because they're making a gingerbread house and they get to eat it at the end. Okay, this game is a game that I made up called the Ding Dong Game. And this can be used in, again, so many different ways to try and consolidate those key aspects of number. So here's one I made earlier over here, and literally it's just a 3x3 grid. So I've started, obviously, maybe this is lower down the school and they want to know their number bonds. So we call it the Ding Dong Game because as they're saying ding dong, it gives them thinking time. So I would just say ding dong, and then they would obviously shout 3. So we'll just have a go really quickly. So ding dong 3, ding dong 8, ding dong 9. Gold sticker. So it's just because the number bonds, they shouldn't have to think about them. They should see 9 and shout 1. They should see 8 and shout 2. Okay, because you need your number bonds right through to year 6 when you're doing your column subtraction, column addition. These are crucial numbers. So doing this daily, I did this daily for about a week and they just suddenly got it. And then they like to do punches as well. So when I shout 6, they shout 4. When I shout 2, they shout 8. And then they think they're really clever when you say, right, okay, we're going to do number bonds to 100. So what do you think we're going to do to these numbers? And they obviously shout, we're going to make them 10 times bigger. So we make the 6 a 60, we make the 7 a 71, you get the idea, and you make them all 10 times bigger, and then they think they're really, really special now because they've just been doing number bonds to 10, and now they're making numbers to 100. So I'll be like, ding dong 40, ding dong 30, and they really enjoy it because they think they're getting really far here. You can extend it to numbers to 1,000, and it's just consolidating the knowledge of the number system. Then you could also divide each number by 10. So again, the 3 becomes a 0.3, the 8 becomes 0.8. And I actually leave some with the zeros on because they need to know if that 0.1 is the same as 0.10. So it's good to show them the range of numbers. And again, we're doing numbers number bonds to 1 now. So if they know it's 8 and 2, then they know 0.8 and 0.2. If they know 3 and 7, then they know 0.3 and 0.7. So again, without really standing there and teaching them, they just pick up these through repetition and pick up the idea. 3 by 3 grid is also a really good way to challenge different abilities and for differentiated questioning. So we might generate a number grid. So as a teacher, I'm thinking, okay, I want to get a range of numbers here, maybe some tens numbers, some decimal numbers. So I'm going to ask a range of questions. So to my low ability pupils, I might say, right, can you tell me the number that is double 2? Can you tell me the number that's double 2? Thank you, 4. So my job. Like, right, okay, you know, Harry over there, can you tell me the number that is half of 42? And Harry will say 21. Can somebody tell me the number that is half of 50? 25. Okay, who can tell me the number that is halfway between 200 and 400? 300. Okay, so you can see I'm generating a number grid here through very clever questioning. I know I want some decimals, I want some tens numbers, I want some 5 numbers. Who can give me a multiple of 5? 25. Oh, we've already got that one. Another multiple of 5. 20. Okay, so as you're going, you're incorporating so much mathematical language. You know, tell me double this, tell me half this, tell me the number that is 10 times bigger than this, tell me a factor of such and such, give me a multiple of. What is the product of 2 and 3? So you can generate so much mathematical language and learning just through this quick activity. I'll just fill them in really quick. And the children, because they love this game so much, they can play it at home then as well with their parents. So, okay, so we've got a few numbers there. So again, we use the ding-dong rule, but we change the rule every time. So I might ask the children what they want to do today. So they might say, ding-dong, add on 1. So then they get that rule clear in their head. So right, every number we're going to add on 1. So it'd be ding-dong 5, ding, you join in, ding-dong 91, ding-dong 46, ding-dong 11, ding-dong. So you can see their mind's got to really work, but they're using such a different range of numbers. So then we might go, right, we're going really hard at this time, we're going to times every number by 10, make every number 10 times bigger. So I'll just think, right, the numbers are moving one place bigger, place value, just quick recap, and then straight into it. So ding-dong 40, ding-dong 250, ding-dong 210, ding-dong 900. And again, you can, depending on how the children are going, you can push it as high as you like. You know, be very careful though when if you're kind of going into doubles and halves. Be mindful if you want majority even numbers on there, because otherwise you're stood there going, yeah, that's right. So just pick your numbers wisely. Another thing you could do if they've got whiteboards on their table, just quickly whilst you're maybe talking to one group and some group is finished, you could get them to, can you add up the top row, can you add up the middle column, what is the difference between this number and this number? Lots of different things you can do, just a simple number grid. And again, if you're learning your times tables, a really quick way to do it, so you might be doing your 3s, so we fill this with multiples of 3, so I'll ask the children to shout them out to me. So 3, another multiple of 3 is 9, another one 36, another one 33, 18, 9, and you fill it like that. And then as soon as I point to the number, they just tell me the associated fact. So if I point to 9, they're like 3 3s, 6 3s, and it's just, you know, getting that association of the number facts. Right. I put whiteboards on the table because I thought you might want to have a go yourselves, thinking how you would adapt some of those activities to your own age groups. But I'm kind of a bit short on time. I've only got 10 minutes. So as you can see, we've done a lot of practical learning there, and I've showed you, snapshots from across foundation stage to year 6. And how do we record it? Because obviously there's a lot of things that are done outside the classroom. Well, either we take photos or the children just go and get an iPad, snap a picture of what they're doing and upload it onto Dropbox. It literally takes about 2 sessions, train them up, and it takes all the hard work away from me, off me. Underneath their photo, they just write a little reflection, just a couple of sentences stating what they did in that activity, what they learned from it, and the more able ones, what they think their next steps need to be. We always respond to the children's learning. So, if a child has struggled, we always use the traffic light system for AFL. So, of course, straight away, if someone's got a red traffic light, I need to work with them the next day. But then, if they're on green, fine, they just need an extra challenge. So the children just stick in the photo and just write a brief reflection. One of my favourite websites for my maths ideas is Pinterest. Pinterest is full of ideas for practical and motivational maths. This is brilliant. You move this like little marker around, so you go, and it's just got a blank space in the middle, and then you open the flap, 10 less, 10 more, 1 less, 1 more, and again, just shuffle it around the square. Cutting up cutting up a big 100 square, getting the children to piece it back, take out some pieces, so you've got missing pieces for your higher ability. As I said earlier, greater than, less than, using Lego. This is learning about edges and vertices through some twiglets and some jellies. A very visual representation of your times tables. We all know that 3 times 5 is 15, but do you know that that's 3 add 3 add 3? Do you know can you do this as an array, groups of? So again, they're getting the language there as well as seeing it visually. And then this would be for your, if you've got a small support group. I think if you try to do this with 30 children, you'd probably go insane. But it's grouping matchsticks into bundles of 10, and actually physically doing your exchanges and borrowing, things like that. So again, it's for those children who struggle to understand that concept. It's quite a nice practical activity.